So we are going to run this one. If any of you were here at the last workshop, we're going to run this very similar. We're just going to basically do a quick introduction from our lovely chef presenters here today. They'll give us a little background on themselves and their kind of origin story and how they got started and what inspired them. And then our next workshop, as just a reminder to put in your calendars, will be Saturday, March 28th. So the end of next month, and that's going to be on food trucks specifically, or food truck operations. And yes, so welcome, very special welcome and mahalo to a good friend of mine, Chef Dray Wilson, here all the way up from Kona, and a new friend, Chef Shannon of Island Style Grindz, long-standing. They're now in their 10th year of business, and I won't spoil too much. I'll let him share their story. But I've been fortunate enough to taste the food from both of these chefs. They're both incredible cooks. I've actually worked a couple of different events with Chef Dray, and he's very talented. And yeah, well, I'll let them kind of share the rest of the stuff. So with that, I'll kick it off to you, Chef Dray.
All right, sounds good. Well, aloha, thank you everyone for coming. Excited to be here in beautiful Kohala. It's a good excuse to come up from Kona. So I'm originally from Maui. I was born and raised on Maui in upcountry in Ulupalakua. And my family was very inclusive in the kitchen from a very young age. There's like little home videos of me like sitting on the counter, like just asking my mom when I can put the cheese in the eggs, and I was always very interested in cooking. And a lot of my cooking style comes from my grandma, who's always been very big into gardening and like farm to table kind of food before it was even cool, and she just sees what's fresh in her garden and creatively makes it into a delicious meal, which is kind of what I strive to do for all my events now. I see what's fresh and local on the hub or at the farmer's market and try to make the best food I can for my clients. So born over on Maui, moved to the Big Island when I was 8, and went to school in Waimea, and then went to college in San Diego. I actually got 2 degrees in supply chain management and business administration, which has really helped with my business because, if you go into anything culinary, I would say you want to have a passion for it, right? Because it's not easy. You want to have fun in the kitchen. Sometimes, standing for 16 hours at a time cooking isn't easy. But my business degree has really helped because in my niche with the private chefing, it's a lot more about high-end sales, really, and this like really high-level execution of these curated, small, intimate dinners. So that's what I mainly focus in. I also have done larger events. I did Kona Brewing Company's 200-person company party this last year, which was really fun. It was my first time doing something at that scale, and made enough food for 400 because I wasn't sure with how much alcohol was being served, how much people would be eating, But yeah, I came over here, graduated from college, moved to Maui, started my career in finance. Actually, I worked at a wealth management firm for 5 years, and COVID happened, and I went from being able to see clients and share fruit with people every day to being inside my 300-foot studio for like 60 hours a week, and went, this isn't the path for me. So moved over to the Big Island to help my dad with his automotive businesses, and tried that for a year, and that really wasn't for me. And I actually went to Oahu to make papaku'iai, a Hawaiian poi pounding board with a kupuna over there as my birthday present to myself, and befriended a private chef friend, and he told me about his lifestyle, how he works, 10 high-end events a month and then hunts and fishes and gets to enjoy time in nature the rest of the month. I went, wow, that's kind of like my dream, being that I'm just working like 100-hour weeks, in an office. And so I took the leap and communicated with my, family that that wasn't the right path for me, and started my private chefing journey. And one thing that a private chef friend advised me to do at the beginning was work for free, which I think really helped me get established, because I did a free event for my auntie's birthday party, and it was small. It was only like 10 people, and I have a pizza oven. That's one of my specialties, the little portable uni pizza ovens that are really fun. And I did that, and there was one Hāwī homeowner that attended that event, and they really liked it. And they wanted to hire me for a pizza event that they invited all their Hāwī friends to. And now that friend network at Hāwī has become my bread and butter that I cook for on a regular basis, you know. And they're not always home. I do Kama'aina events. I go to Hilo. I just was cooking in Ninole for all last week. So I go all over the island. But that's something that I would advise is doing things for free and doing things for the community as well. I do a community event down at Kiholo Bay with Hui Aloha Kiholo, and I bring a bunch of cooked ulu and my papa and pohaku, and some of my friends I grew up with bring their papas and pohakus, and it's just a free, you know, there's no flyers for it, there's no nothing. It's just everyone tell your friends we're gonna pound some poi, and I'll bring my pizza oven and we roll the ulu pa'iai out into like a pizza dough, and I baste it with rosemary, garlic, olive oil, and top it with fun toppings, and we make ulu pa'iai pizzas, which is fun. So I've also gotten, you know, referrals from that sort of thing. So just the kind of giving back to the community. I help out with Lanikila's Kukulu Kumuhana Keiki Camp down in Waipio Valley. They take middle school, high school age kids for 2 weeks down in Waipio and teach them Hawaiian language and skills like weaving hala and things like that. So things like that have also really brought me a lot of joy and kind of balance out being in these multi-million-dollar homes with Versace plates that if you break it, it's $5,000 and you're stressed out. So and now here I am now getting to talk to you guys with other talented chefs up here. So that's my story in a nutshell, and I'll go into some other nuances when we get into the slides. For this next slide, I will say, you know, the Hawaii Business Development Center has been hugely helpful because there's so many little business questions, you know, in Hawaii when you're just starting out, you know, with how to register for this or the quarterly GE taxes or this and that. And it's free. And it's literally like a personal business consultant that's free. So I couldn't recommend that enough. That was a huge help with me getting my business started. And if you're curious, there's my website. I really want to do a revamp, but it's been a while, but almost all my business is word of mouth. So it hasn't been a priority for me to work on my website when my business is all just coming from word of mouth right now. And I didn't put any of my videos in here, but if you want to see them, that's my Instagram. And one of my assistants makes just nice little videos that encapsulate what my events are like. I try curate a really beautiful vibe. I, you know, put on like hapa and have cute little anthuriums everywhere. And I always bring my clients floral arrangements because I love flowers as well. And that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you, Dray. Yeah. Appreciate it. All right, and Chef Shannon, we'll kick it over to you.
So my name is Shannon Javillanar. Born and raised on the island. I actually grew up in Kohala. Graduated from Kohala High School. Well, my journey starts from going off to college, Kapilani Community College, culinary program. I actually did about 1.5 years and didn't finish. Too much playing around. I think that was my main focus, was just going there and having fun, you know. But it started from there, and eventually we made our first daughter. We actually moved back, me and my wife. That's my wife right behind here. So we moved back from Oahu, and my brother told me, he's like, we got job openings down at the Hilton Waikoloa. So I started my journey from there. I did 13 years down at the Hilton. Worked at every restaurant. They put me everywhere. I was really dependable. From Italian restaurant to Japanese to breakfast to room service. You name it, I did it. You know, so that was part of my journey. I actually tried working at other hotels too. Didn't work out. I went back to the Hilton. I'm glad I did. I'm glad they put me through the thick and thin. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, there were a lot of big events that we did. We're talking like 1500s, 2000s. Small was like 500. And we did a lot of banquets, a lot of luau's. Every week was weddings, luau's. Back then, I don't know if you guys remember, but had Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Big events came true. So we did a lot of those big events. So that's where I came from. They put me all around the place, room service. You know, I'm like the last person there to like feed people when they come off the airplane. You know, so that's one of the things that I did. But basically, every restaurant on property, I pretty much worked. Did that for 13 years, and in between that, this is just off the record. I was doing yard service, so I was working 2 jobs, you know, just to make ends meet, you know, because we live in this paradise. You know, I got 2 kids, married, at 21 years old, you know, so had to make ends meet. So I did yard service and cooking like 10 years. I had a lot of accounts up in Kohala, down Pulko, down this coastline. So I was doing that for a while. Plus, I was catching my own fish. So imagine that now, running my own boat, trying to catch my own fish. I did a lot of farmers markets in Hāwī. I don't know if you guys remember that. Underneath the banyan tree. That's the original farmers market, not what it is now. I used to go there, make poke, do dry fish. Whatever I can put in a cooler, I take it there and I sell it. Sell it like this. I mean, that's what I was known for at first part. You know, poke, dry fish poke, that kind of stuff. I was doing that for a while. And in between, still working at the hotel, still doing yard service, still doing this, still raising our kids. You know what I mean? So there was a lot going on. As time went on, I actually backed down from the hotel. I was getting tired already. I was getting burnt out. So I backed off to casual. I still wanted to work with my friends. You know, I made a bunch of friends, whatever. So I backed down to casual. Chef didn't want to let me go. So he actually offered me a higher position. I said, you know what, I don't need that. I said, I just want to work a couple of days a week. And that's what I did. And in that time, that couple of days a week I was working, I had good accounts for my yard service, $1 million homes. They took care of me. So I actually went more into that. And a little bit still hanging on to the hotel. And lo and behold, we came up to Kohala one day. There's a shop that was open for lease. And me and my wife went up there and checked it out. A little shop, right where L&L is right now. So I think they're using that place where we was at for storage right now. So back in the day, Chaba was there, right on the deck. Now L&L took over. And there's a little shop right next to L&L. That was Kauai Candies. That's where we came in. I call it Kauai Candies because that's where we live. And candies came from the dry fish part. Everybody referred that as candies. So I called it Kauai Candies. So that shop that opened up for us, that actually became a poke shop. We just did poke. We just did whatever the health department could let us do because it wasn't a hot kitchen. It was a cold kitchen. You only can do certain stuff. And because it was a cold kitchen, health department allows you to do certain things if you want to do hot foods. Convection countertop ovens, that's all you can do. I was doing Kalbi ribs, I was doing miso butterfish, I was doing fish tacos out of that thing. And I was like, I want to do more. And in order to do more, I needed to build up the shop. Grease trap, stove, oven, hood system, everything. Why would I do that? And I don't own that place. Because if I put all this stuff in a building, you cannot take it with you. So that's one thing that I had to learn. So we didn't go that route. So as we were coming up to our 2-year lease, we decided not to renew the lease. So lo and behold, God opened a door for us to get a food truck through an uncle. He actually kept on bugging me every time we see him. He's from Oahu. He's like, so what? Where do you go get your food truck? I was like, I don't have money. We got the shop we're paying for. We got rent. We got, loans, whatever. I said, we don't have money for a food truck. He's like, well, I got the money. Let me know what you want. Go and look for what you want. And that was history. We built a food truck in Portland, Oregon. 24-footer, like duked out everything. What you can think of, it's there. Flat top, 2 separate fryers, a grill, steam tables, 3 compartment sink with a hand washing sink. I mean, everything you need to pass out department. 12-foot hood, everything. So we went mobile. We did a renewal lease in Kohala. Adios. we went mobile, and that's the best thing that ever happened to us. And that was another journey now. You know, at first 4 years, whatever, you struggle. You know, you got to make a name for yourself. We go around the island, do this and do that, different events, you know, whatever. People reach out to us, we did it. It was small or big, we did it. That didn't matter. We took everything. Nice. So it was tough. It was challenging. Got to figure out who we are, what we was doing. I guess after you hit the 5th year, you kind of see things kind of falling into your play now. You know, make a little bit more money. You know, it's like, yeah, I can go out eat dinner now. You know what I mean? We can go. We can travel. You know, it's like, it's tough. It's tough. You gotta. I mean, stuff that I cannot really share. I mean, we'll be here all day. You know, it's a grind. It's a grind that if you're not in it, you're not gonna survive. You gotta be strong. Because it's not just cooking. It's everything else that's gonna come with it. You still get life. You still got a family. You know, you gotta figure things out. You know, so it was tough, really tough. But where we are now, it's still challenging, but it's way easier. You know, we can travel a little bit more. You know,
a little bit of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about where you guys are at now? What business looks like, and maybe what your team looks like? I don't know if you guys can see pictures up here. But.
So where we're at now, we do a lot of weddings now. Nice. People reach out. It doesn't like employee parties, weddings, big events. So in Kohala, if you guys hang around in Kohala, had Kamehameha Day, had the 4th of July. You know, all those big events. We love those because we got I got a big crew. We're gonna feed them. We're gonna feed everybody. Nice. That's what we do. Yeah. That's what Island Style Grindz is. Cool. You know, so that's what we do. So we were talking about outside. Like he asked me, so how many people you feed? You know, this picture right here just tells you we just finished up. This is at Dartmouth College. My son graduated from here, and we were the first ones to. He asked us, "Oh, Dad, can you guys do the luau?" I said, "Yeah, we'll do the luau." It's going to be our 4th year now. You know, we're feeding 1,000 people. That's all we're feeding.
At one night?
Yes, one day.
That's a luau.
And he cooks some of the food here and brings them over there in coolers and gives them authentic
So we try to
luau.
prep as much we can here because you can't get stuff on the East Coast, New Hampshire.
This is on the mainland?
This is New Hampshire.
Dartmouth College. You do a luau in New Hampshire?
Yes. So they have a certified kitchen there that we work out of. So we had to. The first year we did it was out of their dorm. Oh wow! And we fed 500 people. Wow! We went into that kitchen and we cleaned out the kitchen. I was like, what in the world is this? I mean, you got college students. You know what I mean? So we had to go in and clean things up because we're feeding guests. Yeah. So we had to like clean things up. Like my mom and my mother-in-law was there, like cleaning things up, and my wife and my sister-in-law. You know, so we just had a small crew at that time. Our first year. Yeah. Second year came up. Well, so first year we did 500. Second year we did 700. Nice. And we expected a little less. It was like, how we did do 700? You know, then.
People want to come to them.
Yes. So this last year, May, we did 1,000. They said over.
Wow.
So we were ready for that. Nice. We're gonna go back in May again. We're prepping for 900 to 1,000. So we'll be ready again. So a lot of stuff are being prepped from here too. We get our own fish. We do our own kalua. We get salted salmon from here because they can't find it in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is good for produce. They got good short ribs. They got good chicken, so we get it from there. We wait till we get up there and the kids get what we need. And the benefits of it, they take care of us. Our flights, our car, our room. They take care of our meals. That's all I ask. Yeah. Like they asked one of the parents, why don't you charge them? Because we did it for so long. It's from the heart already. Yeah. You know, our kid went there, graduated from there. We made connections, you know, so it's like, no need to charge them. I told Chef here, I said, we're going to bring more of our family members. That's what we can do. Instead of charging them, we'll bring 3 more people. You pay for their flights, pay for their room, and we're good. So that's this.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shannon. All right, shall we dive into some questions now? Cool. So we're going to start kind of like foundation up. And some of this kind of was already answered. I think maybe we could jump to, you know, thinking back to the beginning, maybe try to think specifically on what were your biggest, oh, wow, I didn't expect that moments. So maybe some epiphanies or stark realizations or, just something you didn't expect or, you know, you wish you knew back then that you do now. Is there something that comes to mind?
Well, yeah, one that comes to mind right away is if you're going into the private chefing industry is collecting payment. You want to collect it early and often, you know. Now I'm at the point where I require, if you want to be on my schedule, because once you get on my calendar, it's 100% confirmation that I'll show up and do a phenomenal job. I require 50% upfront. Otherwise, you know, when I was first getting started, I was just doing, you know, like verbal confirmation. And, you know, some of these people, they're not living, you know, in our same reality. They have, you know, they're in la la land, so to speak. So they were canceling last minute, and here I am, you know, like setting aside time and getting food and things like that. So I went, okay, that's not going to work. So get 50%, I would say, minimum upfront. That is pretty industry standard from what I've seen from other chefs. And I require the other 50% 1 week in advance of the event, because that's when I start shopping for the food and prepping that week prior. I have had times where before I was doing that, it would take a month plus to get paid, and now you're spending time retroactively, you know, tracking people down, and that's never fun. So that's one thing I would definitely say to do that. And yeah, I have some other points, but I think they'll come up in later slides, so I'll pass it off to you, Shannon.
Yeah. Anything come to mind for you, Shannon, from the beginning?
You know what? Since I've been around the block a few times, been around different hotels, restaurants, and whatever. Going into your own, you know, doing your own business and stuff, I was kind of prepared on like the worst. Like whatever comes up, I was kind of preparing myself already, whatever it is. But one thing that stands out that I cannot control is like the hate of people. You know, when you do good and you're climbing and you're climbing and you're climbing, they hate on you. I didn't expect that kind of stuff.
The jealousy kind of thing.
And you know, us local guys, hard for control yourself. Yeah. You know, so that's one thing I had to learn. But the hate part. Yeah. If it's not like, and you know, most part they won't tell you right up in your face. It'll be like on the phone messaging, or you know what I mean? Yeah, they'll be that way. It's like, oh, big guy, yeah, now, you know.
So the judgment.
The judgment part, you know, the hate part, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it sometimes it tears you apart, but you gotta go past that, you know. So I'm dealing to do that kind of stuff now, you know. Try not to take things personal, you know, trying to get past that stage. But the hate part, that's what it's like. I couldn't understand that part.
Yeah.
You know, why are you gonna hate on people when we're trying to make a living?
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Should be the other way around.
Should be the other way around.
Supporting
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
probably too small community, small town vibes.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
more common. And
Especially like you grew up in this town, everybody
Right.
knows you.
You're from
Everybody
here.
knows your family.
Yep.
It's a small community.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's an
my graduating
island
class
town.
was like 75.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
From
in high school.
Kohala, Yeah.
So that's Kohala for you.
Yes.
If you don't really know what
Yeah.
Kohala is all about.
Yep.
So the ones that you grew up with, and they see you succeeding or they see you climbing that mountain, they don't like that.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
Like you said, jealousy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going off of that is you have to be okay with knowing you're not going to please everybody.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, which
Yeah.
for me has been more in terms of my clients, but that's you know, interesting to hear that the community
Yeah.
too. You know, thankfully I've received a lot of positive support from the community. I have had you know, pushback from some too, like
Yeah.
jealousy. But
Yeah.
one of the reasons I was talking with you know, one of my business advisors, and I was afraid of people not liking my food at first. I said, oh, if I'm going to cook for these, high maka people, and what if they don't like my food and I'm going to be sad and this and that. But you have to be okay with that. You have to know you're not going to please everyone. I do put a lot of effort into trying to fluidly communicate with my clients and find out what their tastes and preferences are. I have one client who sent me a 4-page document on her, tastes. Yeah, I'm actually cooking for them tomorrow, and everyone in their family cooks differently, so I'm having to cook all these different things, which is okay. And I'd rather know up front, right, and know their tastes and preferences, because I'm trying to set myself up for success. But I also know at the end of this week, there may be a couple things I make that they don't like, which is totally fine, and if they hire me again, great. And if they don't, that's okay too. There's plenty of people on this island that need to be fed. And AI isn't going to steal our jobs, which is nice. There's always going to be people that need to be fed. So, yeah.
That's, I might jump to, I think we have this question further down, but that brings up a great talking point. I'm sure it's been part of the journey for both of you guys, but how do you balance between cooking things that either are some of your, let's say, like signature dishes or things that you really either like or enjoy cooking versus trying to, meet the palates of others? And obviously you can't cook everything, and you're never going to cook something that every single person on this island likes. But so how do you balance cooking things that feed your soul and also, kind of please the masses, I guess?
Well, thankfully we have so much, fresh produce here on island. Like, I just love going on the Kohala Food Hub and seeing, like, what do they have this week? Like, what's fresh? Okay, carrots are back. Thank goodness. I love carrots. I always have carrots in all of my menus. So, I just love doing that, what's fresh. And it's really for me because, we're in very different fields where, Shannon's feeding thousands of people, every month all over the island. I'm feeding like dozens of people typically when I'm not doing bigger events. So I just really try communicate and find out their exact tastes and preferences. Christmas Day last year, I was cooking for a royal family that wanted beef Wellington. And I had never made beef Wellington before. So my family got beef Wellington for breakfast that morning as my test to make sure it would turn out okay. And I watched, 10 videos to make sure my duxelle was on point. And, our friend who spoke at the last one, Ben Lillybridge of Malama Mushrooms, he sells lion's mane mushroom. So that was my twist on it. Okay, I don't want to make this cookie cutter beef Wellington that half the restaurants around the world do. I'm going to do Hawai'i lion's mane mushroom in the duxelle, So I still got to make it my own and add a twist to it. And the client said it was one of the best beef Wellington he ever had. So it turned out okay, And I made 2. That's another important part is that for me, I always make more than enough, because especially for the private chefing, you just don't want to run out of food. I mean, even when you're cooking for large events too, if you're doing a wedding, you cannot run out of food. Yeah. So make more than enough and learn how to calculate, You can do the math. You go, okay, if the average person eats this many ounces of poke and we've got 100 people coming, for me, I round it up. So I go, okay, let's make it for 120. And that way, your bases are covered. You got it. So, yeah.
Always make more.
Yeah, and you're obviously, like you said, Shannon, you're cooking volume.
Yeah.
Did you start out when you guys started in Kauai Candies and then expanded to the truck? Did you have kind of some signature items then that are still on your menu today?
Yeah.
And
totally.
Have you been refining that over the years? Or?
So actually, the miso butter fish.
Yeah.
We still do that.
Nice.
I tweaked it up just a little bit. Real minor stuff. Yeah.
Right here, right? Yeah.
So I get the black cod from a buddy from Alaska.
Nice.
And they actually catch their own black cod.
Cool.
And
so
they catch it on board. So like the deadliest catch, the big boats.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're catching black cod. They're cleaning it up, freezing it, boxing it up, ready to go, ready to ship, right in the freezer. So I'm getting it from him.
Nice.
So directly, yes. So I had to work around some stuff like that. I still do some Kalbi ribs, but it's differently now. At least I can grill it now instead of a toaster oven. I mean, I was putting whatever I could in the toaster oven.
Yeah.
We were doing our fish tacos, everything.
Right.
Wow.
I was actually searing fish ahead of time. My neighbor was telling on me.
Yeah.
He was like telling the owner, it's like, why is he frying fish? You know, stuff like that. I just had to do. You know, just to put it on my menu.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I said about hate.
Yeah.
You know, it's right next to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So a lot of those items that are still on your menu today were
Some of it.
part of your
Yeah.
inception.
I mean, I did all the pokés. You know,
Yeah.
did all the pokés. We do poke nachos too.
do
Poke
poke
nachos.
nachos now,
Yes.
yeah.
That's like one of our number one sellers.
Nice.
And everything else that, you know, whatever we do.
Yeah.
But to touch about trying to adjust our menus and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a family. We did a wedding down at the Hilton, one of the private homes down there. Italian family from New York and whatever. So they want Italian food. I worked for Donatoni's back at the Hilton, so I know a little bit of what
Yeah.
we did, whatever. So I was like, yeah, we'll do it. First night, Italian food. Second night, we'll have island food. Perfect. You know, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with that, whatever.
Right.
Third day's brunch. Next
Nice.
day. I was like, yeah, we'll do it. So the first night Italian food, I mean, I did it the best I could. You know, whatever I was taught from before, and they loved it.
Nice.
You know, so the next day was the island style food. They went crazy for it. But I think that was like the highlight. That was the highlight of the night.
Nice.
So adjusting food wise, whatever, I work with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta work with the people, and go with the flow.
Nice.
You know, try to work with them, whatever you can. Do the best you can.
I like that. A little bit more of a practical question here, but still super important. If both of you guys can just give us a quick walkthrough on the regulatory side. So what permits, licenses, insurance did you need when you were starting out, or do you have now? And I guess if you could talk to like how did you navigate that? I know you spoke to the small business development. Was that
Yeah,
part
small
of,
business definitely helped me on that. Food handler cert, which you can just take online via Zoom. When I first went to sign up for it, it must have been really popular at the time because lots of people were getting into it. So give yourself some time. I think it took like 3 weeks for me to get a class that I could sit in and get that cert. I have professional liability insurance and culinary insurance through FLIP, F-I-L-P, Food Liability Insurance Program. It's pretty affordable. And then an EIN number and an LLC for the business. And yeah, I'm sure Shannon has a lot more with the food truck.
Just about what you talked about. More of a, you got to get your placards together.
Yeah.
You got to get a green pass, placard card.
which is Department of Health?
Yes, you got to
Okay.
get your food establishment permit,
Yep.
general excise tax license too.
Right.
And we also have a $1 million insurance too.
Okay.
You got to have that for certain events you do.
Yeah.
They're going to ask for it.
Yep.
You got to have that stuff because they don't want to be reliable.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be covered.
Okay.
LLC, yeah, number 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And does that?
All through health department,
Okay.
they can help you navigate stuff.
Cool.
Um,
DOH.
Yes.
And does that $1 million policy, is that covering your food truck as well, or do you have insurance on your food truck?
It should cover everything.
Additionally? Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right. We kind of talked about this already in your specific niches, but also on the menu development and kind of your culinary identity. How do you, I guess this is focused more on the pricing, but how do you approach menu planning and pricing for different types of events? So private dinners versus large catering gigs versus the food truck service. What's your process for creating proposals that are both profitable and attractive to clients? So maybe walk us through that.
Well, Shannon and I were just talking about this before we started. The term I like to use is expanding the pie. It's one of my professors in college uses that term for like not having a fixed pie mentality where, okay, well, this is your budget. Oh, I can't work with you, and turn the people away. You know, I did that for one potential client at the beginning of my career who was actually, I didn't know, but they were a family friend, and they were having like a 150-person party, and their budget was only $1,500. You know, $10 a person. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you can like go to Costco, you know, and get Costco pizza and do it like that. But then when I saw them in person later on, they said, oh, well, we were thinking we could we could make all like, the desserts and salad and some of our favorite dishes and you do the pizza, which, if I was more inquisitive and had a conversation and wasn't so quick to assume and had that conversation, went, okay, I could do a large amount of pizzas. And so the scope of work, for my side, the scope of work is really important. You have to make sure you're crystal clear with the clients on what the scope of work is, how many people are attending, what the timeline is, and even for potentially what ifs, like if more people show up, and get the scope of work dialed in and have the conversation. Like I'm, doing some larger events at lower price points, but I'm doing it more rustic style. I'm bringing my pizza oven and making pizzas and salad and some nice banana bread bites. It's not my, 7-course wild forage tasting menu, that has like 60-day dry aged steaks in there, So you just kind of find out. That's really where I've come to in the pricing now, is I find out what their comfortable budget is and see how I personally can maximize the value with what I have to work with given their budget, which works a lot better than, when you have no idea what their budget is and they want, I had an hour-long conversation with a potential client. That one was on the mainland, one was here. They kept going, arguing with each other on what they wanted. And I spent all this time making a menu, and they didn't even, I think, hardly look over it. They were just instantly like, oh no, we decided with someone else. And I was like, okay, that's a learning lesson. How do I not invest so much time and energy into doing something like that? So I really just have the conversation to find out what their comfortable budget is and, see if, give them a rough idea of what I can provide based on that. And if it's something that they still seem very interested in, then I proceed. If it's something they don't seem that interested in, then I'll kind of say, well, if that isn't of interest in you, then, I might not be the best chef for you in that circumstance. And that way you can kind of protect your time and energy too. So you're not just spending a bunch of time on the computer, because I make a spreadsheet. I have my food cost, my time expenditure, shopping time, GE tax, and cleanup time too. I wasn't charging for cleanup time originally, and then it's like sometimes I end up doing, like 4 hours of dishes, if I'm doing multi-course meals and things like that. So that's kind of how I structure it.
Cool. So asking the right questions up front, especially what's their budget.
Yes.
Is a really important one.
Yeah.
So that's a really important one.
Yeah.
Like
budget.
Yes. So you kind of get a playing field.
Yeah.
Try and work with them the best you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get those or be like, oh yeah, I got this much. It's like, so what are you gonna eat then?
Yeah.
What you want me to do for you?
Yeah.
I have a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a lot of that, and
So you gotta be honest.
you gotta be honest, and then like we're in a position where we can kind of push them on the side. It's like you guys should go look for somebody else because we can't do that.
Be the right fit.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can't do that.
Nice.
And I'm a person where I might not have other words to say, but I'm gonna tell you straight up. That's the kind of person I am.
Yes.
It's either yes or no.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. With us. Like my wife, she gets a lot of emails. I mean, we get a lot of messages, not boasting or anything, but we're thankful for where we are, for the business that we get. Weekly we get emails, I get messages, whatever. So we go through them and we figure it out if it's going to work for us. It's going to work for them. And we can kind of weed out now. Not like before, our first year, second year, we're going to take everything.
Right.
Not now.
You needed to in the beginning, but
Now we can pick and choose.
More selective.
And we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
Sure. But for like food truck style, your pricing, you gotta be compatible. You gotta be compatible with what's around the area. You cannot be going there and charging them $25 for a plate lunch.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta do your homework. You gotta see what's out there for local food, for what we do.
Yeah.
We price things accordingly. I look around what's there, what's this truck charging, what's he charging. This is what I'm going to charge. This is what I feel like
Yeah.
it's what we worth.
Right.
You
Fair
know?
market value.
Fair market value. Yeah. So you got to approach it that way too. And you cannot be so cheap on yourself either. You're buying all of this food and stuff. How are you
Right.
going to pay for it?
Yeah. And cost
You
of
gotta make some
ingredients
kind of
are
money.
Going up all the
You got to.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food cost is skyrocket. I hear it from everybody. It's like, food is so expensive. How can we live here? You know, this and that. Why don't you just hustle a little bit more? You can live here.
Yeah.
I hear it all the
Good
time.
advice. Yeah.
You know, everybody's moving away, and I mean, hustle more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Work hard.
It's possible.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that's what we are. We work hard.
Yeah.
You know. So, and then back to the our special event part. I asked him, "What's your budget?" And I go from there and I work with them.
Nice.
And we just throw numbers back and forth.
Yep.
And I'll try and help. I'll try and work it out with them. You know, because we want the work too.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's down at like Manalani, at like more of the higher end places, down at the Hilton, more at the private homes. I want to get in there too. If our trailer can fit, we're gonna go down there. You know, if not, we gotta work it out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so there are times where we cannot fit the trailer in the truck, but they really want us to go there. So I have to go ahead of time and go check out the spot, because if I cannot fit, we can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Wherever you go.
there's
your truck
pros and
goes.
cons with having a food trailer.
Yeah.
Food trailer and food truck.
good.
That's another
Right.
topic. Yeah.
Do you run a trailer and the truck?
So yeah, so it's a combination. We put a trailer with a truck.
Okay.
I went that route because if you just do like a drive-on food truck style,
Right.
let's just say if you have a mechanical problem, the engine,
That's your business.
You're done.
You can't go anywhere.
you can go there.
Yeah.
With a trailer,
Yep.
I already had issues with my truck from before. Our truck broke down. Called a family member, borrowed their truck.
Right.
So we could
You're
put
a little bit more flexible.
We could still be in business.
Yeah.
Yep.
Versus the food truck style.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't go that route.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And there's gonna be pros and cons and all this stuff they come up to. You cannot see all that stuff. You just gotta be ready. Just gotta be ready and just do the best you can. You know.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So moving on to more operations and logistics. On a typical day in the field, what does your production workflow look like for a typical event? How do you organize your prep, cooking schedule, and execution timeline to ensure everything all comes together smoothly? Which one of you want to?
I would say, take as much notes and have things written down as much written down as possible. I keep too much in my head, which I'm trying to get better. I have my clipboards when I print out all my notes that I go over with the clients, and I have set times to execute things. And I'm pretty good at visualizing how long things are going to take, so I just try have all my mise en place in place. I get all my prep work done such that when it's time to execute at events, you're providing food in a timely fashion. So checklists, and then knowing what you can do ahead of time, because obviously you want to have the freshest food possible, so you can't do too much prep ahead of time. But roasting mac nuts, crushing them, doing certain things, okay, that can be done a week before the event, and then when time gets closer, then I can go to the harbor, get the fish from my little brother, cut it up, do everything else that's necessary right before the event happens. So that's what I do.
Awesome.
You probably have a huge workflow when you do those big events.
Yes. So actually, when we get started, we'll finalize the menus, whatever we got it going. My wife actually will print it out, and she'll present it to me, and we'll go over it, whatever, and we'll figure out what we need. If it's from Suisan, from Costco's, from Triple F, from the local farmers market, whatever it is. If we cannot find it, we're gonna look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta look for stuff. We'll start from there. And since I've been in banquets for a while down at the Hilton, we prep 2 to 3 days in advance, whatever we can.
Yeah.
Same thing what I do with us. We do it 2 days in advance. We have 2 people.
What?
We have 2 people. We do a lot of prep.
Yeah.
And we're doing like 500-600, you know what I mean? And we just prep, we just bang it out.
Nice.
That 2 days we prep whatever we can. I mean, we're running around doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find fish. If I didn't catch a fish, I'm finding fish from somebody. You know, we're getting all of our produce together, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we'll bang it out, whatever we got to do. We get that together. So that's the day of coming to the big event, whatever. When we get to our event, we take our trailer on site. So we cook everything fresh right there. So that's what we can do. That's what you can do if you're looking at that. Take your food trailer, take it right on site, and you can prepare everything fresh. We go 4 hours in advance. So if there's any kind of issues that pop up, thank God we don't have much, you know, so we can deal with that kind of stuff. But we give ourselves time because there's a lot of sauces to do. We cook rice, we get everything prepped up, everything's fresh there. We get everything there, set up the buffet line, we get everything going, and we get the ball rolling. We get everything situated, get it all set up, and as people start rolling in whatever, we make sure everything's ready to go. You know, your appetizers, your starches, your entrees, whatever it is. The last few events we had carving station. Not everybody wants to do that because the prime rib alone is $300.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bigger
You're
cost.
paying for your carver too. You know, you're paying an extra cost.
Right.
Not everybody wants to do that, but some of them want to.
Yeah.
You know, so it all varies. It all depends what they want to go with.
But leaving
So-
yourself enough time is
Yes.
key.
Yes, you got to give yourself
Being
enough time. So
flexible.
at least 4 hours ahead.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, we cut it close. I mean, for what we do, I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Our gals are setting up the buffet line, you know, setting up your hot chafers,
Yeah.
setting up our cold station, you know, and me and somebody else is in the trailer slamming things out.
Right.
We cook everything out,
Yeah.
you know, so that's just the way I was taught back at the Hilton. We just jam things out,
Yeah.
you know. Do the best you can.
A lot
That's all
that
you
goes
can do.
into it.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, can each of you speak to your, kind of take us to your kitchen, you know, whether that's in the trailer or whether you're prepping in your own kitchen. You know, what tools and infrastructure have been game changers for your business? What did you think you needed, perhaps, but actually didn't? Yeah, what comes to mind? For you?
I would say there's a fine line between balancing, you know, having everything you need and not having too much. A piece of advice I would give is don't make too many assumptions on what you think your business is going to look like and you start buying stuff. You know, I bought a lot of nice, like, kind of outdoor chairs that were on sale because I was thinking I was going to do pop-up events for realtors that were like selling pieces of land that, you know, didn't have houses on it yet because I have my pizza oven and Kiave grills and things like that. But in reality, that's just not what my business has been at all. I'm in private homes, so I have like a portable kitchen, right? Because even though I go into kitchens that are in homes worth over like $20 million, they won't even have a good frying pan, you know, because there's not actually much cooking being done in these kitchens typically. Yeah. So I just have to bring everything I need. One of the biggest tools for me, I actually forgot it yesterday and had to turn around to go get it, is just stainless steel cookie sheets with like wire racks on them. Is like really important for, you know, all sorts of things like toasting up bread or when you are frying things or steaks, like, to let them rest on. So that's like a small piece of equipment that you normally don't see that have wire racks that fit perfectly in them. Also stainless steel, I'm pretty into just cooking at a really high standard. I don't use any aluminum. I don't use any aluminum foil. I don't use any aluminum cookware. None of my food that's hot ever touches plastic, you know, just because of the chemical exchange that can go on, which is what I do, you know, which is, for me, everyone has their own different styles and things like that. So that's something that is important for me, having good sharp knives, good pans, and basically just don't assume that there's going to be anything in the kitchen other than a heat source and a water source. So I do a lot of loading and unloading of equipment, but in the end it's worth it. I'd rather bring too much stuff than not use it than show up to a house and not be able to execute a dish to the best of my ability because I'm being hindered by the lack of equipment. So, yeah.
Any special tools or infrastructure equipment that are necessary for you, Shannon? Or
Yeah,
game
so
changers?
actually, when you first get started, you're not gonna know who you are. It's gonna take a while to figure out who you really are. You know. So we actually built our trailer bigger than most guys will ever build it. Usually you see 14s, 16s, 18s. We got a 24-footer, and it's full with all the equipment you need in there. And I'm glad I went that route. I used most of the equipment, but after a while we figured out we don't need this grill, we don't need this steam table. I should have put another stainless steel table in here for more room. You know, more prep. You know what I mean? So you're gonna figure that things out later on. You're not gonna figure it right away. As you go through the years of service, you're gonna figure it out. But it's better to have more than less. If it's in your budget, you know, go for it. You know, because you're gonna figure it out later and work it out. You work it out later. But like what you said, we all have different styles. We do. So we just work with that. You know.
Thank you. On the ingredients side of things, so how do you manage sourcing ingredients reliably? You know, both of you, it sounds like, have an emphasis on local food, local ingredients, direct relationships with farmers, fishermen, ranchers, working with local suppliers, and also, you know, we have island limitations. There's limited amounts of ingredients here sometimes, or finding certain things can be hard. And also seasonal availability. Have you built relationships with specific farmers or vendors or fishermen that have become essential to your operation?
Well, you know, the more you do it, the more you just get used to it. You know, you see what's available. I like to have the conversation with the clients to see if they'd rather exclusively have mahi-mahi, or if they're interested in what's having most fresh. When I go down to the harbor, you can have the conversation with the fishermen. And if the ono are running, I would rather serve them fresh ono than mahi that doesn't look fresh. So having that conversation is important, and just sourcing, having as many different suppliers as possible. Like the Kohala Food Hub is great, and if they don't have what I need, then I can go to the farmer's market, you know. And I don't think there's anyone that's in the culinary industry in Hawaii that doesn't have to go to Costco too, you know, because it's just a reality of being in the business. You know, there's no one on the island that has butter. You know, haven't seen local butter being made, but Costco has grass-fed butter. You know, so you just have to do the best you can. You know. And I try have as much local as possible. I try, because I'm in a smaller, more intimate environment, I tell my clients the name of the farmers that grew the food. If I had the pleasure of meeting the farmer or the fisherman, and even tell them the name of the ahu pua'a and a little bit of the history behind it. You know, some of them have never had poi. You know, they don't know what poi is. They don't know how sacred and special it is to the Hawaiian people, and especially pa'iai. I mean, even a lot of people that live in Hawaii haven't had pa'iai before. So when I make people fried pa'iai and they love it, you know, I tell them a little bit of the history behind it, and I've got a lot of positive feedback from that, because it makes it more than just another meal. It makes it more of like a culinary experience to know how the food got to the table.
Love that.
Yeah.
And Shannon, you?
Yeah. So for island style grinds, Costco's is number one for us. I got no shame in saying we go shopping at Costco, because everybody else does.
Yeah.
And I even see like friends from like the restaurants. It's like, what you doing here? You know what I mean? So Costco is number one.
For sure.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Suisun is another one. Triple F, you know, we go there for our paper products and whatever, but like for fresh produce and stuff, hit up the farmers markets. We go to different ones. You can find things in there that you won't find anywhere else. We go down to Ali Drive Farmers Market.
Nice.
We go up to Kamawela. You know, if we're in Hilo, we go to Hilo. I actually reconnected with a buddy while I was doing yard service down in Pulko. This older Hawaiian guy, got to see him a few weeks ago in the dentist. And then we were like, I didn't see you for a long time, talking story, whatever. He's like, what you got down White Peel? So I connected with him with some taro now.
Nice.
And some ho'io.
Nice.
So we've been using that for our last event that we just did.
Oh, nice.
So I can connect with him a little bit more. And then if we need poi too, we get from the mock juice too. They're down
Okay.
there.
Nice.
So we're trying to work with them too if we can.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
But we want to work with the local farmers too.
Yeah.
They need support too, and they work hard. They work hard in the Low East. They work hard.
Yeah. So personal relationships,
You got to
connections.
You got to.
Huge.
And then for my part, the fishing part, yeah, you got your brother and his connection. So I'm also down the harbor a lot, week after week.
Yeah.
I made I made more connections throughout the years with other fishermen too, because the demand that we have with our catering, our weekly food truck style service, we use a lot of fish.
Yeah.
And I cannot be out there weekly trying to catch my own fish because I'm killing myself.
Do you still fish?
I still fish.
And you serve a lot of that fish
Oh,
in the
yeah.
truck? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But just not all of it because it's too much.
Yes.
Too much demand. Okay.
As we get out of this winter season, get into spring, I'll be out there fishing.
Nice.
Weather's gonna back off a little. We get nicer weather and it'll be good. So we'll be back out there. In the meantime, I'm just getting from local fishermen right now.
Nice.
But you gotta connect with those people too if that's your staple.
Right.
You gotta connect with them.
Fish on the menu.
You gotta connect with them. So I also I smoke my own pork and I smoke my own fish too.
Nice.
So that's the other avenues that I use too.
Okay.
That we use for our food truck.
Right.
If it's not catering, it's our food truck style too.
Do you have another head chef trained for the truck so that you can be on the water fishing, or if the truck's open, you're always in the truck? Okay. So that's a lot to balance.
I want to teach,
Yeah.
but if you're not all in it,
Yeah.
I don't want to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to find the right person.
And
Sure.
you know what's so funny? I work with a lot of women. You know, back in the hotel, it's all guys. We don't work with
banquet
women.
industry, yeah.
We don't work. Women are going to be like in the cold area, in the pantry. Women, men is all hotline.
Yeah.
It's just the thing that it was from
In the
years.
hotel.
You know what I mean? But now it's a different story.
Yeah.
The women are kind of like,
On the line.
they're on the line.
Yeah.
They want to be more involved. So our crew, it's my niece, it's my wife, it's my sister-in-law,
Cool.
it's aunties.
It's all wahine.
It's all wahine.
Nice.
It's like, where's the guys? You know what I mean?
No need.
They don't want to get scoldings. So yeah,
I
so
like-
that's that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Where this is probably going to be pretty different, I would imagine, for both of you, but maybe some similarities with the events. But where do most of your clients come from? How's that evolved over time? And what sort of marketing strategies or client acquisition channels have been most effective for you? I know you said you barely use your website. It's a lot of word of mouth, and that started from some of your original customers.
Yeah, word of mouth, and I just try to be in the business of exceeding my clients' expectations. You know, like I'm gonna make sure to execute on everything I said I was gonna execute on, and then some, right? Like I don't charge for florals, but I always do bring at least 1 to 5 floral arrangements, depending on, you know, how big of an event it is for the clients. You know, by doing that, it really helps with the referrals, right? You know, because clients can, you know, they're so happy with it, and other clients that come to the dinners go, oh, can I get your number? Like, I want to have a event like this. You made it seem really special. And if I had more help, I would definitely employ more marketing strategies, because there's like, you know, next door online where people post about things. I know I could post on there and probably get some business from that. But I've just been so busy because I'm pretty much a one-man band that I haven't had time to do that. But yeah, word of mouth has been really big. It is nice having a good website too, because it kind of like solidifies your like establishment, I think, in some people's minds, like credibility, you know, seeing that and having testimonials on there. And networking. I've been very proactive with networking with property managers and you know, people in the wedding industries, and even just having friends tell friends, and you know, having business come in that way. So yeah, just putting yourself out there in general, I would say, is how I've kind of done it.
Nice. Shannon, for you?
Yeah. So for me, for food truck style, it's all local.
Yeah.
Majority is local. We have a slightly percentage of tourists who come and look for us, but basically for food truck style, all Kamaina.
That's awesome.
That's what it is.
Has it
Catering.
always been like that? Like when you started out? Or do you feel
No,
like that's part of it
no.
being established in a known brand?
I think
here?
because of the food truck style, you have to know where we are to find us.
Yeah.
Some
Right. You have a following.
some travelers will find you.
Yeah.
But I think when we was in Kohala, Hawai'i Candies, since we're there where a lot of tourist people pass, we had quite a few
yeah,
travelers come in and eat
Yeah.
for that part.
Yeah. More
And
traffic.
we were thankful that they came in
Yeah.
because sometimes you cannot rely on all kamaina.
Right.
You know, everybody has budgets,
Right.
you know, and they'll come once or twice a week. You never know. So luckily we get travelers come through for that part. For our catering event style, it's really hard to say because we got a lot of mainland people been coming in
Yeah.
and looking for us, reaching out to us for weddings, for catering. We get a good share of that too.
Nice.
We
Is
get
that
we get the local crowd too.
primarily word of mouth that you're getting these wedding events and
Social media.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We're good on Instagram.
Cool.
We're actually we got a good following. If you guys ever want to know more about us,
Yeah.
Island Style Grindz,
That's great.
Instagram. I'm on Facebook too, but it's personal. It's a personal page, whatever.
Yeah.
But we have a business page and Island Style Grindz page. Most of our content are on there.
And your events, you get event requests through
Yes.
people finding you on Instagram.
Yes, they'll find
Nice.
us through that way or
Cool.
emails, whatever.
Right.
But social media,
Cool.
I never thought it was going to be a big part.
But it is. That's
Oh,
awesome. And you guys are
it is.
active. You post, I've noticed,
So active.
very regularly.
We're active.
Yeah.
But also that's where not everybody likes you.
The haters are going to hate
So
on
since we're
social
open
media.
to the public, I gotta expect that now.
Of course.
Because we're public,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you guys want to follow us, Island Style Grindz. Yes.
Yeah, they're a big deal.
And I remember
Legends.
when we was Hawai'i Candies,
Yeah.
we had 1,000 followers,
Well, there you go. You've
and
grown it.
we saw it grow.
Yeah.
We saw it grow.
That's awesome.
So
And that's an important tool for you
Yeah.
too. You mentioned you guys are you're moving around, you're mobile, and you
Yeah.
use that to tell people, hey, this is where we
You have
are
to.
this week.
you have to. If you don't,
That's
if
your
you don't,
local.
if you're not on social media, you cannot find us.
Right.
And word of
You don't know
mouth
where
is
you're
only
gonna
going to go so far.
Yeah.
From auntie to uncle to friend, whatever. It's
Right.
going to go too far.
Yeah.
Only going to go so far.
Right.
You got to follow us because you're going to figure out the locations, the times,
Right.
where we're going to be, and it's just 10 to 2. If you
Right,
come
it's quick.
after that, you're done.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how quick we sell the food.
I
Wow.
wouldn't have known you were going to be at Takata's yesterday
Yes.
if I didn't see it on
Yeah.
social. So it's
So basically, we get
an important tool.
pounded within 2.5, 3 hours, which we like that.
Yeah.
We sell our food. We prep.
Yeah.
We get it prepped up. We go out and we sell it in 3 hours.
That's awesome.
Nice.
You get done. You typically sell out.
We typically sell out.
Nice.
A slow day is still a busy day.
Yeah.
But it's for 3 of us, 4 of us sometimes. I mean, we got dishes to wash too. You know, we got a lot of whatever you do in a
Yeah.
restaurant, we do it in a trailer.
Yeah.
Everything's there.
We got a nice write-up in Hawai'i magazine.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Yeah. And we're blessed for that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
That's
We
helped
got-
too. I'm sure.
Yes.
Local PR.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got written up for Hawaii Guide and Hawaii Magazine.
Yeah, and that was in 21, so that's pretty
Yes.
really dope.
Thank you for that. That helped. And we're humbled. We're very humbled. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's great. How do you have any either of you have any methods for turning one-time clients into repeat customers? What systems or approaches have helped you build a loyal client base? Like you said, you have a lot of kama'aina.
Yeah.
Or generate referrals.
Yeah.
Just to have, for me, I just try have the best possible client experience from start to finish. So it starts with the first, time they reach out, whether it's email or phone call or text, and just try to be as positive as possible. I have the pleasure of working with a friend who is a Michelin star chef in France, and he's a world-renowned chef. He has several TV shows, and he comes here to design a menu at Hamakua Hotel, which is one of the companies I work with. I'm more on the waterfalling estate side of things, but there are 2 sister properties. And he gave me a wonderful compliment that I had the best, just presentation and client kind of relation that he'd ever seen. Because a lot of chefs, they can kitchen's hot, you know, you get angry when you're in this hot kitchen all the time, and you know, Gordon Ramsay throwing plates.
Is that why I'm
and
angry all the time?
Things like that, you know.
Yeah, you're in a hot trailer. That's
Yeah,
even
I'm
hotter.
getting hot in my apron up here right
in a
now.
tin box.
But yeah, I just try really make it the most positive experience and try put myself in their shoes. And if something comes up, you know, because it's a two-way street, right? I'm providing a service and things, and they have to make sure, you know, if I come and the kitchen's a mess, you know, instead of, I don't want to make them feel bad about that. I just got to suck it up and do all their dishes and clean their kitchen, then cook the dinner, and then clean up after myself and leave it better than I found it. And yeah, just from start to finish, make it the best experience possible to your ability, and you live and you learn. Sometimes you go, okay, maybe I have to get there an extra 30 minutes early in case the kitchen isn't clean, you know, and maybe it's good to remind the clients that have the dishwasher unloaded, you know, before I get there, so that way I can, you know, have everything cleaned up in a timely fashion. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, when you said that's why we're angry all the time, my wife smiled back there. She's like, that's why you're angry all the time, huh?
It is true. If it's
It is-
hot,
no, it's true.
it's much easier to get angry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. And plus, where I came from, the numbers we did at the Hilton was just volume. You know, we're like pushing out food, you know, at Italian restaurants, at Pacific Rim, you know, lunch, breakfast, you know, we're pushing out numbers. So it's just crunch time, just crunch. You got to get it out. Got to get it out. So that was always, that's what that's my background. Basically what it is, just high volume, push it out, you know. And yeah, we were mad at each other all the time. Gordon Ramsay and all, flying things and want to fight with everybody, you know. That's where I came from.
Yeah.
You know, the hotel scene is crazy. You was there.
In a week. So,
That's why you're smiling all the time. Yeah.
thinking about
Awesome.
this particular environment.
Awesome. Right on. But yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback on what you said. We're going to treat them the best we can, you know, and that's all we can do. They want you back, you know, they'll reach out to you again. But I treat them like family. We're going to treat them like family. Try not to take things personal, because you can take it personal real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a situation that, you know, they weren't happy with certain stuff, whatever. It's like, you know what, let's just move on, pick up ourselves, and we did the best we could, and we're going to continue doing that, because that's who we are, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
You just keep on working to what you do. You know, everybody has their different niches,
Opinions.
you know? Yeah, you
Yeah.
do the best you can.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Speaking to challenges and lessons learned, hopefully we're not going to die here. What's been your biggest challenge in running your business? Or if it's not just one, some of your challenges, how did you overcome it or them, and or how are you still working through them? Whichever one of you feels called to speak first is good.
So for me, there's a lot of challenges that we're going to go through. One that sticks out for me, to us, me and my wife, is employees. That's one that sticks out.
Managing
Managing well,
or finding.
trying to get them to want to come to work.
Yeah.
You know, get their mindsets. You know, you got a job to do, show up. We never had a choice before. You know, they schedule you, this time you show up. If not, you get written up. Or they're going to send you home.
Right.
That's where I came from. The chefs we work for, they don't care. Is this their way or
Yeah,
the
they don't
highway?
mess around.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So for us, it's personnel, trying to get them. Because basically we run a family-owned business, is what we do. So everybody else that helps us, they all work their regular jobs too. So we try to get them on the weekends if they want to. It's an option for them. So if we can get them, then we'll do this big event because we need the bodies, you know. So if we don't get them, then we cannot do this event.
Right.
So that's one of the challenges that we deal with.
Help.
It's
Yeah.
a help. It's the employees. It's getting people motivated, because because it's not their business,
Right.
they're not going to be as motivated as you are. because we put so much time, effort, and money into what we do.
Yeah, and love.
And we're gonna keep on doing it. And if it's working, we're gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah.
And doing it and doing it. You know what I mean? And adjust on the way. Whatever you come up against, you adjust, whatever it is. But for us, it's the personnel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah.
Especially on an island.
yeah. On an island
Limited
too.
labor pool.
And if it
small
doesn't look so
community.
bright to them, like, oh, that's not enough money,
Right.
they're not gonna want to work.
Yeah.
Especially from a small business
Yeah.
point.
I think it's
you know, we're not back at the hotels where they can pay you this, they can
Right.
give you medical,
benefits.
they
Yeah.
can. We cannot do
Small
that.
business is a
Small business is
different
hard.
world.
Yeah.
So you got to work around that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about for you, Dre? Any specific challenges that?
Yeah, for me, it's just balancing everything as a one-man band, right? I do my own bookkeeping, I do my own marketing, and right now I'm so busy with the word of mouth that I'm not doing any marketing, right?
You don't need,
yeah,
good.
exactly. So, just finding the balance, and making sure you take care of yourself, personally too, and everything. I'm working the next 6 days straight, so I know it's not going to be the easiest time for me physically, just standing up cooking for 14 to 12 hours a day. But the week after that, I'm going to Maui to see my grandma, to have a nice vacation. So it's all about the balance, right? So and just little things, just learning and being kind to yourself. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna forget things, and just being honest with the clients, and letting them know, being like, okay, there was no fresh mahi today, but this ono looked really good. Is that okay with you? And if they're not okay with it, ask a friend to go down to Kona Seafood and see if a fisherman brought in another fish or something. Just find a way to please the clients and have it be the best outcome.
Nice, like that. What's one thing that either of you wish someone had told you before you started? No, that's kind of a hard one. Especially if you've been in it for so long.
The budget thing, like how we both were saying, just start with the budget right away. I've wasted time going over menus and doing things that when you start the conversation with the client, see what the ballpark is. Even if they don't have a rough budget, see if it's, if it's 1,000 or 8,000, because they're going to be very different scopes of works and very different services you could provide. And so get the rough ballpark to see what they're comfortable with, and then see how you can maximize the value to the best of your ability given the ballpark that they're in.
You've spoken a lot about asking the right questions up front.
Yeah.
And that seems super important for these events specifically, or groups, because it can either define whether or not it's worth your time, essentially.
I'll just be upfront with them too.
Yeah.
And just feel them out. Get to know them. Get to know them a little bit more. Because everybody has a different budget. Everybody's not on the same page.
Right.
Some of them wants more, but wants to pay less. You know what I mean? So, it's
You'll find out pretty quick.
you go find out real quick.
You
You go find out real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's gonna work out for you or not.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of situations out there that you're gonna come up against, from a small event to a big event. So it all depends.
Yep. That's a good segue, I think, too. You guys have both hinted at this, but not maybe been full real talk. The culinary industry can be very physically and mentally demanding. Shannon, you mentioned you left the Hilton because you started to feel yourself getting burnt out there. So how do you, with your current businesses, how do you manage burnout and maintain work-life balance? When did you learn to say no, if you have? And how do you set boundaries with clients?
So let me just go back to my hotel days, what I used to do. So I did yard service in the morning.
Right.
I did whatever, maybe 2 or 3 yards, maybe 2 yards, realistically, that I could pound out before I go to the hotel. I do those yards. We're talking about bright sunlight, you know what I mean? Hot. You guys know down Kauai gets hot. So imagine on a pool, everything's open on there, so hot.
Oh yeah.
So like what I said, you gotta do what you gotta do to support your family. And I did the yards in the morning. I went home, maybe eat a snack, take a shower, right back to the Hilton. I did that for 10 years, at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And I could, not exactly, but I did that for quite a while. Go to hotel, and I do whatever I gotta do. If it's luau, if it's a wedding, if they want me up at Nui, they want me at room service, you gotta be ready for anything.
Yeah.
They want you at Imari's, which it was called before. I don't know if you guys know back then at the Hilton, Japanese restaurant. So it doesn't matter. You gotta be ready. And I've been doing that for years. And try thinking about fishing try fit fishing inside of it too.
I don't know how you do it.
You know what I mean? I was killing myself.
Yeah.
I was killing myself.
Yep. But you recognize that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And you know what? That you know what happens? That pulls you away from your family, from your kids, from
yeah.
enjoying parties, from enjoying family outings, because I was just chasing money. You know, the money was good. You know, I got money from the homeowners, got money from the Hilton. You know what I mean? Money was good. I could buy a boat.
Right.
You know, I could get stuff what I needed for my boat.
Yep.
It wasn't an issue. But after a while, you get burnt out. You know, you realize this is not everything. Life is not everything. This shouldn't be life.
Yeah.
You know, you're killing yourself.
So how did you transition? Obviously, you went to becoming a business owner.
Yes.
Do you have any methods for balancing work-life balance now, or managing the burnout so that it doesn't happen
Yeah.
again?
So actually, I said earlier I downsized at the hotel, went down to casual.
Yep.
Because I was feeling my body getting tired already. I got the better accounts at my yard service, and I was good with that. Had money coming from that. I saw $1 million homes, so they pay good. At the time was good.
So it was less work
Yes.
for more money.
Yes, and I could make my own schedule.
Yes.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that part. So I was like, you know what? I've been doing all of these things on the side already. Making poke, drying fish, catching my own fish, selling fish, whatever, making money on the side. Our dream was, why don't we go open up our own place? That place opened up in Kohala.
Nice.
The Lord opened the doors for us. He makes ways that man cannot make the ways He does. That's my journey, you know. So He opened up the door for us, and we did it for the 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And then another door was open for us with our uncle that asked me, so what, when you're ready for the food truck? He was God sent. He had the money. 80,000. We built
awesome.
we built a food trailer in Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
He paid for it. So we paid him back though. He was our banker. I like to say that because he's a big inspiration for me and my wife.
Lucky.
Big inspiration. Yeah. Big inspiration for me and my wife. And that's the route we went. We loved it because, I mean, we made our own schedule now.
Yes.
I'm my own boss.
That gives you more balance.
I love that.
Yeah.
I could make my own schedule to go fishing, to go this and do that, you know? So that's why we went into that part.
Nice. Makes sense. Be your own boss.
Versus back to the hotel, you work 6 days, they schedule you 6 days a week,
Right.
you're gonna be there.
Yeah.
And that was the days. They schedule you 7 days, you work 7 days.
Right.
I have no say.
Yeah.
I work.
No.
I work.
So perks of
You know?
being your own boss.
Yes. So that was the
That was the
That was
driving factor.
that
for
was a
you.
driving factor. I wanted
Nice.
to at least the 13 years I was there, no set days off. Every week the schedule comes out, you look what your days off is. I never have a set day off.
Which is very challenging
So I
with
was
the family and
Over it already.
yeah.
Done.
Plan to go to your kid's game.
No can.
Yeah.
You know if you're gonna be off or not.
Yes. No can.
Yeah, that's really hard.
And we ask, we try. No. You work. And like what I said, reverse back then, big events. Money, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're looking at all the money.
You're always kind of
Yeah.
family or money.
Yeah. So That's why I left the hotel and went into
Yeah,
this.
I get it. Makes sense.
Thank you.
Would you agree, Dray, or is there anything you would add to that? I mean, I know
I
you're
would
a
just
one-man
say, like,
show.
yeah, know yourself, and you know, I really enjoy time in nature, away from everyone, and you know, just getting time to enjoy the surf. Yeah, time with my girlfriend, and just being relaxing. So, you know, it's balancing it. Like, this next 6 days is going to be a grind, but I know I'm going to have a wonderful time on Maui after that. So, yeah, it's just being realistic with not biting off more than you can chew. I make sure if I commit to something, there's 1,000% chance I'm going to execute it to the best of my ability and exceed the client's expectations. Do everything I say, plus you know, I just got a bunch of fresh coconuts I picked, so I want to make fresh coconut cream and make poisson cru, which isn't even on the menu tomorrow or Monday, but since I have the fresh coconut cream, and hopefully my little brother will catch some ahi tomorrow, I'll be able to make some nice fresh poisson cru.
If not, one of his friends will get it.
Yes,
Yeah,
if not, I'll have to start making more phone calls.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
yeah, so just know yourself and know what you're capable of, and push yourself too. Like, I didn't know if I could do that 200 person event, and I had enough food, I think, for 400 people. You know, so
We're always learning. Yeah.
yeah, it's learning. Okay, and then take notes too. That's another piece of advice.
Yeah.
Take notes after the events. I haven't been as diligent about that lately, but it's really helpful, because then when you have another 200 person event come up, if you took post-event notes for that last event, you could go, okay, next time I don't have to, you know, make 8 times more poke than I needed for the event. You know, maybe I'll just make 2 times as much, you know? So, yeah, taking notes is an important one.
That's great.
Deal with the extra food if you've got 200 extra plates.
I share a lot of food.
Go to the food bank or
I just share it with the community. Yeah, friends, family, community events. You know, sometimes I'll plan like the Kiholo event I do after an event, so that way it's like, okay, leftovers can be shared. Yeah. No, I would say I probably have one of the lowest food wastes of any chef in the state. I really try, you know, strive. Okay, if the bananas are too far gone to use, you know, in a regular dish, you know, I'm making banana bread. Even if I'm already super busy and I don't really have time, I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm gonna stay up late and just bake banana bread so I can give it away and share it. And yeah, it's good for, you know, referral sources too. Like for me, property managers are an important referral source. So it can't hurt to, next time I'm driving by their house, leave some in their mailbox and say, hey, there's some fresh baked banana bread in your mailbox. You know, it's little things like that can go a long way.
Could I answer your question? Since we do more of a volume kind of stuff, yeah?
yeah.
So our extras and stuff basically goes to our employees first of all. And we don't have a lot too. Our catering and stuff, whatever leftovers on the line, it goes to the host. They take it because we cannot reserve stuff that's on the line.
Right.
So they take whatever they want to do with it, they'll take it. If there's an abundance and stuff, I might take it to our local church. We might share with them.
Nice.
You know, stuff like that. But that's what we do with our extra stuff and stuff like that.
Nice.
It doesn't sound like it ever goes to waste. Though.
No. And can I just add to that?
Please.
So back at the Hilton, we did our banquets and stuff.
Yeah. So much waste.
We throw away pans and pans and pans of food.
Oh.
I know, it breaks my heart.
That we've heard, and so that's
Like, you know the garbage cans?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's been in the warmer for over 4 hours.
Right. And it's
We
all
don't-
food safety.
You cannot
so,
reserve it.
for sure.
So goes all in the trash can and it's gonna feed the pigs. They got a local farmer comes and grab the.
Oh, so they do get.
I guess that's
Yes.
that's not total waste.
Yes.
So I know they have restaurants, they have the
They do.
things, and then the pig people come
Yes.
like every day.
I think they're working more with the farmers with that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Makes
but-
sense.
Well, that's not wasted.
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
That's awesome.
and it also doesn't go to waste because they feed the employees the next day. Brother man knows it right there. Yeah.
Hey, that's better than throwing food away, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, but
It's-
yeah, they
Yeah, food.
We
I've,
wasted a lot of
I've
food,
worked
yeah.
in the hotel and restaurant industry, and it was one of the most
Yeah.
appalling things to see how
Yeah.
much food is thrown away every
Yeah.
day or every night. Yeah.
I just retired from the high school, Kohala High.
Oh,
for
okay.
10 years.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of kids to come hungry, you know, we have a lot of
Right,
programs.
right.
A lot of grants, a lot of things up and down to like, I mean, sometimes when we have spring break or whatever, like, kids don't eat during the break.
Right.
You know, and then when you think about the food waste, you're like, there's such a disconnect between
Yes.
who needs it and who has extra.
True story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watching it in the trenches.
Yes.
Yeah, the legal restraints are really hard because, you know, everyone's a business and has their skin on the line. So if you were
Yes.
to give food away to someone in need, you could potentially be sued because of the food laws. So
Right. Hands
that's
are
something that
tied.
kind of has to be changed
Yes.
from like
Top.
top down
Top down.
level.
Yeah.
On another note on that, like if we're in Hilo, we have extra food, like chicken, rice, whatever, extra stuff. My wife will put it in bento containers, and they will go downtown and find houseless people
Yeah.
that they need food.
Yeah.
So we do that too. Like if
I
I'm in
think that's a
Kona
great effort.
and I have extra food too,
Yep.
I spin down the harbor to throw my rubbish, and if I see somebody, we feed them.
Nice.
On Fridays, the third Friday of every month in Honolulu.
Okay.
By Deshimas, there's those Zuba farms.
Yes.
We do a kopuna, so we do the kopuna. So for any reason, any extra food on a Friday.
Yes.
between 11 and 3.
Oh, at the community market. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so we're doing that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Just so you know, so like Thursday, if you have any extra food, we can give it on Friday.
For
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
Good to know.
You know, they like all the wild food that we can
Really?
with the ulu and all, but
Yeah.
they love local food.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds
I remember I
really
saw you
warm.
guys doing that a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That
Nice.
was awesome.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing it again next week.
Okay.
That's awesome. We
I
need
know it's not question time yet, but I have been looking up, and I excuse my ignorance, I've lived here 25 years. What is paella?
Oh, pa'iai. Pa'iai.
Sorry,
So.
it's coming up paella.
Yeah, it's okay. Sometimes people call the town Paia on Maui,
Maui,
Paella.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, you
Paella.
like the Spanish rice dish?
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, paella, yeah. I
love paella.
So Pa'iai, so when you're making poi the traditional way on the papaku'iai, so back in the day, you know, they didn't have plastic containers to take it. So before you thinned it out with water, because poi is actually more water than taro, than kalo, because it's thinned out so much. Kalo is very, very thick and starchy, so you need a lot of water to make it into a poi consistency. So when it's still like a dough ball, when it's still thick, that's considered pa'iai, because then if, say, you wanted to go give Tutu, you know, a short walk away some food, instead of having runny poi, you could have the pa'iai wrap it up in a tea leaf and then take it to her, and then she could add a little water.
or you
and
can
do
eat it just
like
in that form. It's delicious.
Yeah, I actually prefer
I like
pa'iai
it
more
better than
than
poi, too, yeah.
more than
You
poi.
can- you can
And
fry
it
it.
up too. Is
Oh,
the
so
big
good.
thing. Yeah, Jesse got to
It's amazing.
be one of the guests when I did my 7-course wild forage tasting menu, where I foraged wild ingredients across the island, and I think the 3rd course was fried pa'iai
Ulu pa'iai,
with
right?
it was ulu pa'iai with fresh ahi that Davin caught. I did soy tamari emulsion in it with some caviar lime and pickled watermelon radish, and probably a couple other things in there. And that was one of Jesse's
It's so
favorite
good.
things.
It's
So-
almost-
yeah, the
Yeah.
finger limes. That's another fun one. Like I show, most people haven't seen those before,
Yeah.
and that's something that, you know, grows here. I've even been to Sam Choi's house, and he's got a really nice finger lime tree, and he'll let me pick finger limes off his tree. So I'll bring him some fish, and he'll be like, oh yeah, go pick some, and you know, and it's fun to, you know, teach people about that, because I can't tell you how many people's jaws have been on the floor when I'm presenting a menu and I'm passing around this little lime. They're like, well, how we know, what is this? And I tell them about it, and yeah.
Caviar, what
I call it caviar lime because it sounds a lot cooler, and it also describes the food a little bit better. I mean, that's what it is. It's like a lime that has a little citrus caviar inside.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about common names. You can call it lots of different things, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to point out the contacts. My computer might die here. I assume, are both of you guys okay with us sharing
Yeah,
your emails?
yeah, for sure.
Cool. And then I know Shannon mentioned they have a big following on social media. I think I have that in there. But if you haven't found these guys on Instagram, they are Island Style Grindz
With a
with a
Z.
Z
Yes.
and an underscore. for their Instagram. And then Chef Dray is on there too. He's just Chef Dray Wilson.
Yeah.
Really easy
Not
to
as
find.
active, but I'm gonna get there one day. I'm gonna hopefully have an assistant, maybe even.
But
Question?
Yeah.
yes,
How about your
please.
bidding, and what about tipping? Do you add tips to your bids?
Oh, so
That's a
I
good question.
used to include that originally, and I felt it was kind of putting kind of like a bad taste in some people's mouth that they were like paying for the gratuity up front. So I don't include gratuity up front. And just let clients tip at their discretion. So I just make sure that all my time I'm compensated for, and all the ingredients and GE tax and everything. And for people that do want the breakdown, I just copy and paste it right off my Google spreadsheet. I use Google for everything since it's free, like Google Docs, Google Spreadsheets, and it helps me stay organized and keep track. So I don't have that in there. I have, the food cost, prep cost, day of event cost with the GE tax and that final number. That's kind of the breakdown that I show. And then it's nice because after the event, if clients do want a tip, they feel like they can, right? Versus if you already charged them for it up front, then after they might not, present any
But
tip.
what about for helpers?
I was gonna
Does
ask that.
cost too? 'Cause
How-
you have food costs, you have
Yes,
costs,
yeah.
you have event
If I do
costs.
have to hire an assistant, that will be included in there as well, and then I'll share the gratuity with them.
So do you ever do a per person cost? Or just
Yeah, so that's an interesting one with the per person cost.
Like cleans it up.
Yes, so it's an interesting one. I originally had an aversion to per person food costs because for me it's a little bit arbitrary for the scope of work. Because if I'm doing, like a kind of surf and turf menu with appetizers for 8 guests versus 10 guests, it's the same amount of work for me. Realistically, it's slightly more food cost to have 2 more guests join. But it's the same amount of work. So I just see whatever my client's preference is. If they really want to talk in per person costs, I just do the calculation. I just divide it by the number of people there once I've calculated the total event cost. So I just do whatever the client's most comfortable with. For me, at the end of the day, because I'm running the business, I'm always thinking about the end number, right? Not the per person cost. So I look at everything in totals, and then we'll just break it down to per person, if that's what they.
Would be different than a 12.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then do you add tipping to your events?
No. I don't include that in our proposal.
Okay.
But if they want to bless us,
Yeah.
they can bless
Do you
us.
say anything on
Nope,
the
not at
invoice,
all.
like gratuity
Nope.
is not
Appreciated
included?
or
No, I
you know,
did
you don't-
recently see another private chef's invoice that said gratuity is not included but always appreciated or something. Yeah, which is something you
Tasteful
can.
way to say it.
Yeah, it's that you can have on there. But I think it's one of those things that's kind of goes without saying. Like if you didn't have a gratuity line up front on the cost, I
Yeah.
think the clients assume, if they see the breakdown, like
Yeah.
total food cost, total, event cost, they kind of assume.
They get the hint.
Yeah.
How often do you find that people don't tip? Like what percentage?
I've only
would
had,
you
I
say?
think, one client ever not tip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about
So-
you, Shannon?
For big events,
Yeah.
probably 50% going to tip.
Wow.
Yeah. Most of them don't tip.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
And we'll get like small kind tips, like you get enough for put gas.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a
Yeah.
guest at the
But
wedding
then you
or
get
something
like
can-
tips where like, wow, we don't need work for this day.
Yeah, you don't expect.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we don't expect it. And
Okay.
and honestly, if they want to bless you, they'll bless you.
Yeah.
That's how we look at it. And
Right.
we don't,
You're
we don't,
okay with it,
Yeah,
even with-
we're okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
with it.
Just don't have the expectation
Yeah.
for it. Like
Right.
I make
Yeah.
sure that my pricing, that I'm
according.
covered. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, if they don't tip, because the other thing too is if it's at a celebration, they're probably going to be busy, with their family and everything. They might not
do
have
lose-
the time
they lose track too, yeah.
to step
Yeah.
away. And I've had clients that didn't have the time to tip on the day of, so like a week later, I'll check my account and they send a tip over, digitally. Which is always a nice surprise.
We'll ask for your remainder a week before. So it's
Yes.
like after the event. So like if it was really amazing, then so it's a little different.
Yeah.
Paying you all up front.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different.
Everyone's different.
Yes.
I have one
So
more
different.
question
Please. Yes. We're
about
in.
refrigeration. Okay, I
Yeah.
When you're done, do you like plug in and keep that fridge going, and then what do you do?
So basically,
Do you have
throughout
commissary?
throughout our service,
Okay.
everything's running.
Yeah.
We got our reefers, we got our freezers, everything running. As soon as we shut down, nothing's running.
Yeah.
So that's within, if you live like down at Kohala to Kohala, half an hour.
Yeah.
It's not running. When you get home, you plug it into your wall.
Plug it in, yeah.
You can't do nothing about it. No matter if you're a small food truck to a big food truck, you cannot run your generator while you're driving. You know what I mean? So that's the part where you don't open up doors when you close. You keep everything closed. It's going to be nice and cold. When you get home, you plug it into your power to your wall. You're good. But as throughout our service, generator just powers up everything. I got 2 reefers in my trailer. Got a freezer, so it runs everything.
Do you keep it plugged in at home once you're there?
Oh yeah, you got to.
So oh wow, so you're running it all the time essentially.
Nothing shut.
Okay.
Nothing shut down. I got freezers and reefers running.
24/7.
You probably have a lot of refrigerators.
Unless we're gonna go travel.
too.
Yeah.
If we go travel,
Yep.
we clean everything out. We
Yep.
shut it down.
Gotcha.
Like if we travel for 2 weeks,
Yep.
which we're gonna go to Dartmouth again, possibly week and a half,
You'll
whatever.
clear out and
We clear things out. We give stuff away if we got to, and we
Yep.
shut everything off.
nice.
No sense we run the reefer and the freezer.
Yep.
We're not there. So, but basically, it's run. Right now, it's running. Freezer running, reefers running. There's one deli prep reefer I turn off and on because we only use it the day before.
Okay.
Then I'll turn it on. I might need my onions cut, green onions cut, poke, whatever.
How long does it take to cook? Like,
Too cool?
how long does it take to get to town?
Not even half an hour.
Oh, really? Wow.
But you gotta make sure you service all your stuff good though.
Yeah.
If you got like mildew build up back there, it's gonna take a while. So it comes on real quick. If I have this deli prep reefer, I shut it off all the time. Plug it in, half an hour. I got nice and temperatured 40 degrees. You know, so everything's good under that 36, 37. You're good. I got a freezer that's negative all the time. But when you're running like regular service, it's gonna go up because you're not at home and you're running off the generator. The generator is not gonna put out all the power that you get from home,
Right.
but it's enough to feed your people. To keep it, it's enough. You 3-4 hours.
And
Yeah.
do you-
Do you have do you have a kitchen that you work out of for prep, or do you have an extra fridge? Like, what do
Yeah,
you
I
do?
have like 4 chest freezers and
You just work out of
2.
freezers.
yeah.
Freezers.
Yeah, freezers and 2 full-size refrigerators. I also have really good high-quality like RTIC coolers that I take things. And I will say, frozen water bottles are the best ice packs. Like big water jugs, I just fill them like 4/5 the way and freeze them, and load the cooler up with that, because that way you're not having melted ice, potentially damage your berries or whatever food you may have. So that's I use my frozen water bottles probably more than anything else, just because they're helps me keep things at temp. And that just made me think of one of the tools that you need is a thermometer. I only had 1 thermometer, and it was like when I couldn't find it, it's like, it's like I had to stop everything and do that. So now I just own a lot of thermometers, because you just have to be checking your temps of all your food just to making sure you have safe food handling standards. And that's a really important one.
What about when you're going to somebody's house that's new or that doesn't have an empty fridge? Are you bringing coolers?
Yeah.
So you work out of coolers?
Yeah.
How many coolers? I was wondering.
I have like 7 coolers.
Seven, wow.
But I don't bring
full-size
them all the
Arctics.
time, and it's nicer to have. It's for me, since I don't have help. It's better to have more small coolers than really large coolers. Because like that big white one you get at Costco and stuff, like
hard
I
to
can't
schlep
do that
around by
by
yourself.
myself.
Oh, yeah,
when
when
that
they're heavy,
thing's fully loaded. So
Yeah.
I just have a lot of like shoulder
Smaller
strap,
stuff,
kind of smaller ones that work really well, and yeah.
Please.
Okay, I would like to know a little bit, maybe you already covered it, but starting from the idea, the client give you a budget.
Yeah.
But, and you have sort of menu, and
Just hold that while you're talking. You could just hold it
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
regular microphone.
Alright,
I know
okay.
it's not as scary as it looks.
Looks like a taser.
based on this budget, maybe you can in your case, because you are a personal chef, create something new, or in your case that you are sort of established menu, right? But
Yes.
you can create, for sure. You
Of course.
can adapt.
Yes.
I want to understand better. Do you have an idea of every recipe, how much it costs in terms of ingredient and time, and how much there is the variation? Because maybe you know that to make, I don't know,
like tiramisu, for example, which is
tiramisu,
something I
okay.
just made, which I kind of miscalculated a little bit because I made the lady fingers from scratch. I did the whipped mascarpone. You know, all the ingredients ended up taking, the time expenditure was higher than what I calculated it for. So that's just a live and you learn kind of thing. Like next time I do it, I'm going to make sure to price it accordingly, you know, but for that one, you know, and at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you know, it's not that big a deal, right?
Okay. But you know, when you calculate this cost, you calculate also your time, or you say, okay, it is approximately 4 hours, but there is maybe 10% or 20%
Yeah.
to add extra. In terms of time, but also in terms of ingredient, because maybe you don't have that ingredient available from that farm at that price,
Yeah.
that moment, right? Means normally how you calculate it, because in my experience, my time is always zero, basically. I mean, I put so much effort. I did a little of catering and personal chef. Personal chef is different, maybe, it's on the budget. But when you have to propose a menu, it's very difficult sometimes.
Yeah, that's why it's good to also leave room for error, right? Like sometimes I'll have like, calculate an extra hour or two in there that isn't allocated to a specific dish, but at the end of the day, things always take longer than expected. You know, sometimes cutting the fish, there'll be more scales on it than I anticipated, so I'm there, you know, just making sure the fish is perfectly clean, and having some buffer area is good when you're making a menu. Don't make it, say you calculate it to take 8 hours to do the prep. You know, sometimes you might need to round it up to 9 or 10 hours, because at the end of the day, especially if you have to go to the farmer's market in Waimea, and then you have to go to Costco to get your butter and cream, and then you have to go here and there.
Right?
Yes,
Right, so
yeah,
it's
at
built
the
in.
end of the day, yeah, I try, look at the variable and say, okay, if I wasn't doing this event, you know, the total variable time expenditure for this one specific event, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And the second thing is, how you manage to do everything? I like to cook.
Yeah.
wants to
right?
know.
But
Yeah.
you have to, you know, when you have a business,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you have to take care of everything.
Yeah.
You know, accounting
Business side of
or
things.
social media. I mean, I spent 4 hours just feed the picture in Instagram. I say, oh my God.
It's time
I
consuming.
mean, no, maybe there is other thing you're faster, but yeah, I was not. And I just, there are so many things.
Yeah.
And you have to spend so much time.
Uh-huh.
This is time that you don't consider in your business, or the best, do you try to find collaboration?
Yeah, I'd say collaboration is a good one. Like one of my assistants, she's an amazing photographer, videographer, and also does a great job at, you know, just giving the clients a really great experience, pouring wine, helping me sous chef. So I'm very appreciative for her when she's able to assist me with events. And as my business is growing now, I'm starting to think about, okay, how can I delegate more things, right? You know, is it like, am I getting close to the point where I can hire a bookkeeper, you know, and not have to do it all myself, you know? So it's, you just have to know yourself and what income you need to live the life that you want to live, and when you can have the ability to outsource things like that.
I have to say with that, in collaboration with other chefs,
Yes.
that you're doing apps, salads, you're doing all course. Oh, sorry.
Thank
in
you.
collaborations with other chefs, you're doing all 5, 6 courses. You know, and if you know that one chef makes an excellent sauce, you know, and you both have like dinners around the same time or something, where they do an excellent dessert that you love, to be able to like pull You know, and collaborate with other chefs. Be like, hey, could you, you know, just make an extra dessert, and I'll, you know, have this prepared for you that you need. I think that would always just help.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you ever do something like that?
Yeah, I have done collaborations and stuff before, and it's something I want to start doing more often too. Just as I'm growing now, and I love collaborating and hearing. You know, cooking is a beautiful thing because there's no right or wrong answer, which is what I love about it. You know, everyone has their own unique style, so it's nice to just express yourself as you see fit.
Yes, please.
You were talking about how hard it is to get employees showing up, and you know, because, well, I think people are different these days.
So different.
And they don't have the work ethic and the sense of responsibility and being true to your word.
Yeah.
Do you? And I've noticed too, kids these days, or young people, want more and more money per hour, and they also want you to pay cash. And I'm wondering, like, with the kids that you, or people, I keep calling them kids, anybody under 50 is but like, do you pay them cash, or do you say, you know, if it's over $600 and I need your SOCH, so I can give you $10.99? Like, how does that work with these people that all want to be paid a really high wage in cash? I'm curious.
So we don't pay out in cash. We just like a regular business. What you would do at the hotel or a restaurant, we do the same way. You get a pay stub, this and that, whatever. My wife takes care of that kind of stuff. Brother man here does a lot of stuff on his own. I have my own job. She has her own job. We cannot do everything. So that's her part that she does, and she does well at it. She's my secretary, you know. So we don't do cash.
So if the people that you've hired, like, just don't show up or whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do then? And do they ever negotiate the hourly wage? Like, well, if you were paying me more, I'll show up, or profit sharing, or any of that stuff?
So I don't have too much of that because they're family, and I think they don't want to go that route. Whatever we pay is what we're gonna pay. If they don't like it, they'll just say, well, we don't want to work today, or stuff like that. We think we're fair, and we're gonna leave it at that. If we can increase their pay, we will. But we adjust as we go if we have to. We'll have like one-time guys come and help us out once in a while. You know, and we might not see them again. Maybe we'll give them cash. You know, maybe that'll be an incentive for them to come and work. Hey, help us out for 8 hours today. I'll pay you cash today. You know.
For a big event maybe,
yes,
or something?
we got people
Like
like
a
that.
one-off? Okay.
Yes, like those big events that
Yeah.
I need that extra people
Yeah.
that they're not around all the time, but maybe
Yeah.
just at one time. Probably pay them cash.
But your core
you know?
team for the truck is
It's-
really all family, or
Yeah.
like an extension of your family.
Yeah, it's all- yeah.
And that's how you've
Basically.
found good help.
And if it's not my wife's family, it's
Yeah.
my cousins.
Right.
We're trying to get more of our cousins to come and help me out, and
Yeah.
but it's basically
So it's those personal relationships.
you
that
gotta
are huge for
you gotta, and when you got extra fish,
hook them up.
to them.
Yeah.
you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, make them happy. Keep
Right.
them there. You know, give them a little this and that.
Yeah.
And make them
That's
feel good
interesting,
too.
because
You
it's,
know.
Right.
these days it's hard to get anybody, you know, handyman, yard work, you know, everybody wants $50 cash. I'm like, God, I have a master's degree in teaching credential, and it's $42, and I take all the, you know, stuff out of it. Why are you thinking you command and you have no training and you're just muscle? I mean,
Yeah.
you're muscles, but you know, it's like a thing right now.
It is a thing.
That everybody
Yeah.
wants so much, and then if they don't like it or whatever,
Yes.
they won't show up. So I'm really interested how that
Yeah.
affects businesses like
Yeah,
yours.
it does in a certain point. But we do try to work with the younger generation as well, because our kids are just as old as them that come and help us out. So we try to mentor them too. You know, most of the younger generation that come work with us, they had a pass. You know, they might not have both parents together. You know, they might come from a broken home. So we try to mentor them, you know, in a way we can. If it's true work-wise, hey, work hard. You know, put in the time. Keep on working. Keep on working. You want to earn money? Keep on working. You know, real basic, common sense things that these kids need to learn.
had the hardest problem at school the last few years is kids just showing up
Yeah, that's half the battle.
for the school. And I'm thinking that's where it starts. And then we had this culinary program that started, 10 years ago, and we had interns sent over to the Hilton from the high school.
Yeah, yeah.
Tracy does that
Yes,
program.
yes. So there's actually my wife's cousin.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And it seemed like it's been going great guns. And I noticed last year, like, it seemed like kids were going over the Hilton. I don't know what was going on, but I was curious just because of that work ethic problem.
They don't.
That I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
rampant in the high school.
yeah.
So that's teenagers.
And we can still get to them. You can still talk sense into them.
Yeah, just, I don't know how we get that the sense of moral obligation, like just being your word,
Yeah.
back into kids' mentality, because I think that's going to affect us all.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Continue to affect
Oh, yeah.
us all. Well, I'm sure you experienced it with your volunteers at the hub,
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a generational thing, I think.
Exactly,
There's
exactly.
different mindsets, different ethics. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Anybody else have questions for these guys? Yes. Thanks, Morgan.
I have a question for Greg.
Mhm.
That we're in fairly similar,
Spaces.
similar business model. I'm incredibly welcome. I have a place down at and I want you to cook for 15 people. And my daughter-in-law is vegan and gluten-free. I want a surf and turf dinner. How do you price that out, and how do you deal with the one person who has much more severe dietary restrictions when they want surf and turf, and there's one person who absolutely can't?
Yeah, so typically when I have a client with especially if it's like a severe allergy, like if it's a nut allergy or something, I will just plan the entire menu to accommodate that allergy, because I don't want the liability of having cross-contamination with one dish versus another dish. So if, for example, on Monday, the client is allergic to gluten, strawberries, walnuts, almonds, shellfish, and mushrooms. So I just designed the entire menu to be free of all of that, so that way I have peace of mind and they have peace of mind as well. For a client that has like a one-off thing like that, like if they want a surf and turf and they want one thing to be vegan, gluten-free, I would just show them a cost breakdown. I'd say, okay, this is the cost for this, and then I have to do a whole separate prep work, a whole different menu basically for that one person, if that's how they want it designed. But I would also offer them, say, okay, perhaps I do, maybe more substantial accoutrements with the surf and turf, like some braised hamakua mushrooms and this and that, where everyone else could enjoy that, but that could also be the bulk of the meal for the vegan, gluten-free guest, or something like that along those lines.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
How do you price that out with the client?
I have my cost spreadsheet, so I'd calculate the amount of variable time expenditure to prep all that, and then put in like how much I spent at the hub, how much I spent at the store, and then just get the total at the bottom. And I have in Excel, you can have it like pre-calculated all out for you. So I just have all the equations in there. So I just put the input numbers in, and at the bottom, it'll have all the breakdowns and give a final total.
So on that note, because you probably give an estimate as part of your proposal initially, and you take that 50% deposit up front, do you find sometimes, like for this example, your food costs actually go much higher than you expected because you needed to get some specialty ingredients, and then you don't know what that is until a couple days before the event?
Yeah, I just have to factor that in, because I give a firm number up
Okay.
front.
So
I don't
your
have
quote
a soft number. Like
okay.
I have it to to the penny.
So if something ends up being more expensive, you eat that
It's a
cost.
loss, for
Okay.
the business. So I just try that again. That's when the wiggle room comes in handy. Give yourself round up on the budget a little bit, because there might not be. It might be really stormy, so there's not much fish on the market right then.
Right now.
So you might the price might go up a little bit.
Yeah.
So give yourself that wiggle room such that your small business isn't taking the hit.
Makes sense.
For that same client, say they have, because I've had this happen a couple of times, say they have 15 people who they originally want you to cook for. And then 2 days before they say, oh, 3 people backed out, so we only owe you this much. And they'll try and, cut
Lowball you.
do like a contract or something. Or
Yeah.
Says, like, if you change it, post,
it is. Yeah, that's when you just manage the expectations with the client, and that's where it's nice that, if you do have the 50% upfront and then the other 50% a week prior, then then it's just at the point where, okay, you're gonna have some delicious leftovers, for the next day kind of thing, because at that point you've likely already done all the shopping and everything. So you just have to manage those expectations. And if it, for me personally, if it's something that was really upsetting the client, even if they were, a billionaire, that they really wanted, $200 off it, I'm in the business of pleasing my clients. I would do that. I would give them a refund, just because I'm trying to make sure that they have the best experience possible. Thankfully, I don't have any regular clients that would kind of throw a fit like that, and just kind of have realistic expectations. But you never know. I had some very demanding, interesting clients over the holidays that was like a little bit of a reality check, because I just had so many kind, gracious clients that it's like, okay, sometimes people are going to be, rude and demanding, and order things off the menu, 10 minutes before dinner service, and, you can get creative and do the best you can. And, if it's not what they wanted, then that's okay, because they have unrealistic expectations, yeah.
Do you state that the deposit is non-refundable?
Yes.
You do state that.
Yeah. And then again, I'm in the business of pleasing my clients, right? So if they had a medical emergency come up where they couldn't do it, I would say, hey, this is how much I already put in to the event. So everything beyond that, I can give you as a credit, right, for the next event, and try find some happy medium. Yeah, and just really that, like I said at the beginning, expanding the pie, right? Like I've had so many times where I've had to not have, get out of the tunnel vision, because sometimes when you're, cooking so much, doing so much prep, you're getting focused in on one thing and go, okay, how can I make this the best situation for everyone? How can I make it the most fair outcome for everyone involved? So just doing the best you can.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else? Last questions? All right. Well, let's give a big round of applause for our awesome chefs presenting.
Good job. Good job, Shannon.
Thank you guys so much.